town. Little wave, aren't you the lucky ones? We're just about to have some lunch. I'm super hungry. Nothing exciting today though, definitely not worth showing you. But this is worth showing you. This, I think, is one of my best purchases ever, and it's going to go on the dresser back shelves that are just behind you. And it's a soupière base. It's a really small one there. You can see a bit more in my teeny tiny hand. Look at the patination and the buttering on that. I absolutely snatched it up as soon as we went into the brocante and went, oh, that is for me. I did initially think I would take it to the shop, what a find, but I definitely need to keep it just for a little bit, or maybe a long bit. I'm not sure. I need to have a fiddle about with the shelves and decide where it's going to go, but it fits in with everything. I think it's the best soupière base I've ever bought. That's saying something. It's not for everybody, this buttered look, but to me, it's a holy grail item, and holy grail items go on our shelves. So when we've had a little bit of lunch, I'll show you where I put it. Right, I'm going to try and find a spot for the soupière. I don't know where, because I've only just done these shelves and I made sure everything had a home, and I took anything back to the UK to be sold if there wasn't a gap for it. He's laughing because he just said you can only keep it if you're good. And I said, oh, I'm always good, so I'm keeping it. Oh, I really want to see. The only one that kind of doesn't go is this one, because it looks shiny, newer. It's not new, but it gives that appearance. It's very white, and all of the rest of my collection is really quite buttered. But I really liked this one because it's really local to here at Clermont-Ferrand. I will find another spot for it, I think. I don't think I'm ready to give it up just yet. Jam and marmalade jars. Anyhow. Right. Another gorgeous favourite, beautiful buttering. That has to stay, but it can go in the smaller spot that the other one left. Ooh, yeah. Right, I need to find a spot for the white one, but this is the way it's going to stay at the minute. I will take you in to give you a little look. So after 31 degrees of sunshine yesterday, today is grey, and we are trying to beat the rainstorm that's coming in by repacking the van. And as you can see, we have done pretty darn well so far. But it is a bit of a race against time. I can already feel the rain in the air actually. And then we've got indoor jobs, although some of it does require us taking these sacks of sand in, and they are, yes, 35 kilos each. So our plan was to break the sacks, because these need to go up to the Great Hall, so up there. So our plan was to break the sacks and then do it in buckets, but I'll show you why in a little while. But first, definitely the van, as the clouds get greyer. Another thing that I haven't shown you from the last trip is more of the roof of the barn came down. So it looks a bit shocking, but actually it saved us some dangerous work. But we've not got time to clear this time. But it's nice and bright. Now he's going to bring this in and trap me, which is exactly what I didn't want. Hello over there. You would not believe the stress and effort in getting this butcher's block upright, which frees up so much more room on the van. But my God, that was quite something to try to move. And actually, He-Man there, no way he could have done it on his own without me. Go girls. The reason that we're doing this, well, we always do this to make sure it's a really good tight load, but we are going off to 2 markets. We're going to a déballage, a professionals market tomorrow, and on Saturday we are undecided. We either venture to new territory, which is quite a drive, or we come back here and stay quite local to a market that we've done plenty before and done really well. The issue that we have is that there are so many big markets in the south, in Provence this weekend, that we're worried that the local market that we normally go to may be a bit small. There's actually room to still have the door on it. Or is it close?
Easier getting it in without it.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I can feel rain in the air, but we've just got the top part of a dresser to put in, and our big stash of boxes looking for smaller items. We've stored a couple of things in the bit of the barn that's still standing. So thank goodness we managed to do it in the dry. I'm not so sure about moving all that sand is going to be in the dry, but we'll see. Right, we finished the van. You can hear the rumble of thunder, but I wanted to show you these. Had these gorgeous tomatoes from our friend's garden yesterday when we went to collect some furniture. And then our neighbour right next to the castle has just bought us a big bag of tomatoes from his allotment. Hello everyone, welcome to the Great Hall. We are going to start a little project today. It's any minute going to be torrential rain outside, thunderstorms. We've heard the thunder. I'm not sure if it's actually going to come this way, but it is supposed to be a lot of rain. So the van's done, so obviously we can't just sit and twiddle our thumbs and have a nice relaxed day. There's jobs to be done. So we are going to look at doing the hearth in the Great Hall. At the minute, it's just like a muddy, dusty, absolutely filled with feathers, bit of a gap. When we got here this time, there were 2 pigeons that had come down the chimney and been stuck in this room. And in there flapping about and so on, they have created a lot of mess and a lot of feathers. So my first task is to remove the feathers. So you can see what mess there is in a little bit. You can also see the really attractive way that we've blocked up the fireplace for now. We just desperately didn't want to be here and awake in the night or have gone out for the day, because we are going off to stay in a hotel this evening for an early start at a market tomorrow, and then get home and find that there are more pigeons in here. So we need to find a better solution for that too. Steve has just gone to get a couple of the slabs up the spiral stairs. Maybe when I hear him, I will be at the ready with the camera. They are extremely, extremely heavy. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a job between us, or knowing him, he will just soldier on alone, as you have just seen him pick up an entire cupboard on his own and put it on the van. Anything's possible. We'll see how far we get with this project, but I think it'll make a big difference to the room. It'll make it look so much more finished. You can see the water pipe there going up the corner of the room, which when we did the plumbing downstairs, we've already pre-laid electric cables and water pipes and so on to go up to the next floor when we do the main bathroom and the bedrooms. So yeah, that's what that really ugly plastic pipe is all about. Right, enough chatting, let's get on. Right, you can see the mess here. So one of our beautiful tall candlesticks used to block up the hole in the fireplace, and you can sort of see a little bit of the mess of feathers. So we need to remove everything from here. Oh, I just saw a flash of lightning outside. Yes, I'm going to remove everything from here and clean it up a bit as a first start. There, that's attractive. I've just moved the big zinc finial out of the way to see the extent. And I can't really hoover it up because I think it will completely possibly break the hoover, and then we will be in trouble because I use it all the time. Right. Oh, apparently now we've got a courgette. Our neighbour's just arrived from his allotment. So earlier it was tomatoes and now we have a courgette. I think ratatouille, do you not think? Anyhow, I'll show you when I've cleaned it because this is quite dull. Right, that's the worst of it gone. I don't want to entirely clean all of the loose dirt, because we're going to lay the slabs onto a sand concrete mix. So the more of this I take away, the more sand we're going to have to bring up the stairs. And look, what a genius. I'm using this giant pot, so I hadn't got to keep on opening the bin bag. Steve looked at me with a wry smile like, sometimes I guess you're a bit clever. Charming. Anyhow, he's bought up a couple of the slabs, but only small ones. So we'll see if I can capture him with a larger one. So as you can see, Steve's unblocked the chimney now. So I need to take out all those logs and clear up the feathers that were behind the wood. He's brought up some of the limestone that's going to go into the hearth. And I've brought up one whole bucket load of sand so far. And that was quite heavy. So you can imagine what the full bag of sand is like, but that is going to be a lot of trips up and down the stairs. But the sooner started, the sooner finished. So yeah, we have some progress. I'm not sure how much we'll get done today, but we will continue it because we do have to get off to our hotel later. But definite progress and a good start. I've just been doing some before and after photos in the kitchen. I try to get the same kind, mostly the same kind of angle. So I'll insert a couple of photos, the one from years ago and then the ones that I've taken just now. And even though it's a rainy, overcast day, it looks really, really pretty. Little bit of a sneak peek. Look, I've used my beloved soupier base there with, and I filled it up with the tomatoes that our friends have given us. So yeah, it just makes it a little bit more special. Gosh, you can see how teeny tiny it looks behind me there. Anyway, I'll insert them so that you can have a look. And while I've been downstairs playing with photos, Steve has been bringing up the slabs to see how many we need. He said that these two in the middle bit need little notches cutting out, so they just slightly go around the gap there. He said that otherwise, yeah, you can see they are sitting too close in together. He's put this bit of wood up here because it's always been our plan to do a return around. So instead of it looking hollow, we want it to look like it's really thick and chunky, because this will have a faux stone paint effect on it. And obviously it ruins the illusion if you can see it's hollow. So yes, maybe it was a good thing that I missed him bringing some of these up the stairs, especially the big one. It is extraordinarily heavy. So yes, little progress made today, but we're still extremely tired and we normally throw ourselves straight into it. So yes, it is what it is. But those two in the middle, you can see how big the dip is that we're going to have to fill in with the sand cement mix. That's going to be quite a lot of bucketfuls to bring up the stairs. Happy days. Hi everyone, there's been a few days in between the last clip and this clip. I've been doing shopping videos. So we did 2 really big markets, and then yesterday we did 3 smaller local markets to us here, and they weren't the greatest, but it was a nice day out. We've had the most ludicrously long lie-in today. Desperately needed. I don't know how many times I've said that through the videos I filmed in the past week actually, but we're quite tired. And we finally are going to get to doing some work. So I'll just show you what Steve's just started working on. Right, here's the front door that Steve made. This bit here he has concreted because it was just all dirt and it just filled your shoes every time you came in and out, and it was an absolute hot mess. And after all the trenches were dug for the wires and all the plumbing and everything, it was an even bigger disaster. Right, when we first came here, we didn't even know that there were flagstones here because it was filled up with so much silt and pigeon poop and all of that kind of thing. So it was a really nice discovery. And as you can see at the bottom of the stairs, they're really nice and flat. And here, I mean, Steve's pulled up a couple of them now, but here is an absolute hot mess. It got made far worse because there was a channel along here and through this wall where all of the drainage and the water pipes go into the kitchen. And firstly, the stones have never settled back down properly. And you can see even the ones that were not disturbed are an absolute hot mess. And it's a terrible trip hazard and they're just not going to be right. So Steve is now digging up this very small section here, and we'll reuse these stones somewhere else and take it through to this doorway threshold, which is where the nice flat bit starts. And what we're going to do with this bulky area and this concreted part is we are going to lay the same floor as we have in the kitchen. So it's a bit of a continuation and it will be a massive improvement for us. What an absolute difference this has made. It's quite a giant leap out of the kitchen step now. but it's already so much flatter. I think it's going to be a big improvement. We're tripping over it all the time, so yes, I view it as progress made, even if we don't have enough time to get the cement mixer out this time to put the new floor down. It's definitely a step forward. Can you get it? This one is absolutely humongous. Steve was trying to move it, and I think that there was even more below the surface as there was above. It is insanely massive. The things that we start to do. As Steve got out the giant stone, and he's just going into the corner here, you can see he's brushed down some of the infill to try to make it less of a trip hazard. But where he's taking up these ones along the edge there, and you can see there's quite a distinct line where it then goes nice and flat. And he's finding really big terracotta tiles.
That is as well.
What, the one on the top?
Yeah.
Do you think the other ones are further along?
No, those are stone.
Well, that's what I thought. I just assumed that they were stone.
Look, that's...
Oh, yeah.
Is it terracotta or is it just a different colour stone?
Is it some more of the volcanic?
No, I think no, it's like a foot square.
So a lot more modern.
No, it could still be 16th century, but I've never seen floor tiles that big in terracotta before. They're normally sort of about 4 or 6 inches.
You've just got that tiny little bit there to do. It was another doing inside jobs today because it's horrible outside. It's been utterly roasting hot for the past few days, and now it's really horrible outside again. Now we're back at home. And we have looked everywhere for the angle grinder to cut the tiles for the hearth upstairs, and we cannot find it. So until the rain stopped, Steve has been busying himself with this. I've been doing our paperwork and doing some organising for the shop and what have you. And he's got another job done, which is brilliant. Except I am a bit concerned about that trip hazard. Do you think that we fill it up with one of the bags of sand?
No, because I want to get rid of it all.
I know that we'll have to get it out again, but is that a flagstone? It's, or is it just that corner?
I don't know. No, it looks like compacted ground.
Well, you're definitely not going to see this floor finished on this trip, but it's progress. As if by magic, it's done. As soon as you get a giant power tool in hand, the job gets done. It looks like that pile that you've made that you're kind of standing in. Looks like you've had a mole in here or something. That's better. There's a bit more here that needs to come down, because obviously when the new floor's laid, it needs to come level up to the existing. So just need to bring that down a little touch to make sure that there is enough room to bed it in properly. But another job done, hurrah! Look, he doesn't look frazzled at all. Somebody's so impatient, he's already started laying out some of the stone flooring. I think just to see how it's going to look, how many it's going to take up. But this molehill that's been created here needs to be swept up because it's getting in our shoes and it's a trip hazard. Oh, and here comes another extraordinarily heavy slab. Oh no, it's one of the smaller ones, he said, grunting with the exertion. He did just say, I'm too tired to do any more. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah.
I think it looks really different already. Right, I'll go and hunt for some rubble bags.
I wonder if I could...
Some progress. She says out of breath, I've just moved the mound of earth there. Steve is now trying to remove... This is everything that came out of that tiny bit of floor, which is crazy. Gosh, I am out of breath. So... this is shaping up quite nicely. A little bit of moving around to try to get these two level so that then we can put a big one across in front. So that's the plan. But for now, I definitely need a drink and I need to take my cardi back off. I just put my cardigan on. I was a bit cold. Well, chilly, I wouldn't say cold. And now I am far too hot. Sorry, I'm a bit on the wonk. You're balanced on, you don't even want to know what. I'm just going to take you through what decisions we've made on the barn. Lots more of it collapsed while we were away, which has saved us quite a job. And I think that I showed a little clip of that earlier on in this video. Also, sorry that this video has been jumping about all over the place, but I filmed 2 other videos in the middle of doing this one. It's so difficult to keep up with which one I'm talking to at what time. So we've made some decisions on what we're going to do with this. So I will just swivel you around and talk you through what our plans are. I'm definitely sure that I've shown you how much more has come down. Steve's cleared a bit, I've cleared a little bit. But as you've seen, we've started 2 other projects actually in the house. Our time here was really quite short and chopped up in the middle by some shopping that was much needed because we need to keep our business going. Thank you, church clock, as if by magic.
It's only 1:30.
Exactly. I think it is very nearly break time, that's for sure. We've just finished loading the van as well. So it was always our plan to keep half of the barn. But as you can see, it is quite precarious. So in all of this happening, all it's done is brought our plans forward. So we've just mapped out a design for the half of the barn that we're keeping. And it definitely involves having a wall up to the middle ridge. So it supports the half of the roof that's there. It will enclose that half of the barn. But what we're going to do is I would really like some steps here from the garden, following the curve of the wall up to just to the left of the ladder there, a doorway. And then quite a few windows. So the kind of party room in this biggest section, this biggest section's 5 meters, isn't it, to the first post?
4 meters.
4 meters high, 5 meters long.
5 meters
yeah.
wide.
So there you go, 4 meters high, 5 meters wide for the kind of party entertaining room. And then I suddenly went, oh, what if we managed to find an amazing window, like a circle or an arch, something really interesting. I'm not sure if we managed to do it, and obviously time is of the essence for us to build these walls to support the roof. So it depends on what we can find soonest. If it's just ordinary, I say ordinary inverted commas, French windows, then so be it, because they're also beautiful and it will look great. Then we're going to have a couple of bedrooms, and then at the far end there's a bit of a dog leg. Steve was trying to make me go up the ladder and I just would not. So you can see in the corner there where the wall's built out, there's a bit of a dog leg. So that's going to be like an entrance hall, and there will be a covered walkway. You can't see because there's so much wood down. So between the new wall of the barn and going into the dining room in the far corner of the house, there'll be a linked walkway between the main house and the extra accommodation and party at the barn. So actually the toilet facilities and washing facilities are not that far away at all. So these are our plans. You can see it's really quite precarious. We've already been costing out the building supplies to do this, but there he is, the man himself, that everything is possible. Isn't it? Everything is possible. It does sound fantastic / Fantasy Island, but hey, this whole house is Fantasy Island, and look what we've done so far. So yes, those are our plans. We really need to book in some time to get this underway, because this really has to start this year. And I think yesterday we just booked in some Christmas filming for Chateau DIY. So as if we didn't have enough to be doing and really urgent projects to work on, we've also decided to do that because we're just glutton for punishment. So there we go. Sorry that this video has been a real hodgepodge all over the place, but it's our real life here and it's what we do. Charging from one mad scheme to another with a whole load of shopping thrown in for good measure. So I hope you could keep up with that. I'm not quite sure if this is the end of the video or whether I will try to insert a drawing to demonstrate better what I've just described to you there. I think it might be easier to see on a piece of paper. So, hello everyone, as promised. I've done a very rustic sketch, I'll call it, of how we envisage the barn is going to look. Well, sorry about the light flare from our bulb. There we go. Yes, I've done a quick sketch to try to talk you through, because I did lots of hand waggling and pointing and all sorts of things when I was trying to explain what our vision will be for repairing the barn and what its future looks like. Hopefully this sketch will make it more obvious. Anyhow, it's the best I can do for now. It's the end of a very long day for me. It's been quite the week, but that's by the by. I'll talk you through this and then I'll sign off till next time. So when I say rustic, I really mean rustic. So this is a view of the barn from the front on. So here is the ridge. So this half would have been covered. So this bit and below is where the good half of the roof still remains. So there's the gap here where we walk through and where we've got some things stored at the moment, and you walk through there, and to the right is down some steps. There's all of the old winemaking barn with a big wine press and some big vats and things like that. This demonstrates that this is solid stone wall. This is part of the original outer perimeter wall, and this section's a little built out bit. I don't know if it would have been a window, or it looks a bit like it could have been an old oven or something like that. And I don't think you've ever seen, there's a storage room at the top of that. So our plan is the whole of this open bit at the top that's been exposed is to enclose it. And this will be guest accommodation. So what we'd like to do is build a wall on top of the old perimeter wall, build the wall up to support the ridge. I would quite like, I don't know if this bit's going to happen, this is to be determined, but I would quite like a curvy staircase to follow the line of the original outer barn wall up to a doorway here. I would like a gorgeous feature window in this bit, and this would be the sort of party living area, that kind of thing. And I think this bit alone is 5 meters long. So, I mean, it's cavernous space. This is one of the supporting beams. This is another supporting beam. So we divide it where the supporting beams are. So there would be a party room, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and this bit at the end will be like a hallway, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. So these are French windows let in lots and lots of light. I would dearly love a big arch or a circle or something like that, but obviously time is more of the essence because we need to get these solid walls built up to support this ridge bar at the top, because it has been a bit damaged with the roof that's fallen. So running along the back wall of the barn there would be the corridor. So this doorway is the entranceway from the house, which moves me on to my next drawing. So you can access from the house here to the corridor that runs along the back, or it also has access from the garden in an ideal world. Right. So now you can marvel at my incredible drawing skills. We'll move on to a really fantastic drawing. So this is looking right to the end of the garden. So the barn used to be butt up to the chateau. So the bit of the roof that's come down went up to an apex there and then along. So we've got to join up the barn to the chateau, and this is Steve's plan to build this covered walkway from one structure to the other. So this is supporting structure here to support the walkway that will go across, windows to let in light. So obviously at the moment, this bit of the barn, so that is this doorway. So in there will be that doorway, and then we think it may go into one of the old turret rooms. We need to figure out exactly where this will come out. It will be in the dining room because that's the room along that side. But because there's all this guest accommodation but no bathroom facility, this is quite a little walkway, and just the other side of the dining room is the shower room we've just completed. So that could be the facilities for the guest suite when we build the main bathroom on the top floor. I'm going to leave it there because otherwise it's going to get even more technical and complicated. We're going to be there in a couple of weeks' time. Actually, possibly when you're watching this video. No, this video is for Sunday. So no, we will be there in a couple of weeks' time, and hopefully we won't see any more disasters so that we can really talk through these plans now we've fleshed them out a little bit more when we're actually there. Right, on that note, it is Friday night for me and I am so ready to go home.